welcome to the Vanpla. I'm your co-host Dan,
I'm your co-host Hayden.
and we're doing something really special today. We have a great guest, Joey Ou, with us today, doing a live Q&A in the Vanpla Discord server.
Yeah, say hi, Joey.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing? What are you building? Are you building at all?
I'm building, kind
I'm
of.
I'm building. I didn't want to procrastinate the cyber demon you liked anymore, so I dusted him off last night and super glued a few things today, and he's looking tall and mean.
You need to put the fat ass on that cyber demon.
Yeah,
It's not.
how do I
I don't think it's
how do I
optional.
engineer double cheeks is the big question for me this week as I go scrounging through my graveyard for vaguely Gunpla looking things that could make ass cheeks. It's a reference to our last episode. Whatever. Let's
Go watch the other thing, you fucks. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
All right, come back to this chronologically. But so this session is actually quite interesting because we only have like roughly an hour. So we're gonna do some Q&As that are prepped beforehand, and Joey has a lot to say. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. But I guess the first thing is like for those people who don't know who you are, because it's been a long time. Bet some people probably don't know what Gundam Workshop is and who you are. So could you just introduce yourself a little bit, Joey?
I'm an old guy, who's still building Gundam.
Awesome.
The two Gundam workshop in Vancouver is actually my second model shop. The first one is actually back in the 90s in Hong Kong. It's called the
Right.
0092. At that time,
0092.
0092, well, paying tribute to 0093, of course, because that's the best year, right? So
Yeah.
in terms of design and everything. So that time was the garage kit driven era. So it's the golden age of garage kit. So we deal with a lot of garage kit. We have to go to conference to get them. Jeff Con and Wonder Festival. Jeff Con is now known as C3. So before that, it's called Jeff Con. And then it's those chance that those years I was lucky to know quite a lot of the Japanese master modeler and sculptor and designer. So and then when I moved back to Vancouver in year 2000, I have nothing better to do but to open a shop. So so there you go.
Right.
And so the Gundam Workshop, the principle of Gundam Workshop is we're trying to be a pro hobby shop like you guys know the Vox brand.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they look really professional, and then the shop is all like gallery. It's gallery type of feeling. So we try to imitate. I try to mimic that kind of vibe in Vancouver, but at that time was difficult because we don't have a wholesaler here. We don't have a distributor, so we have to time the shipping and the logistic very carefully. So some customer come in and say, if Bandai are going to, that MG is coming out, I will buy that. So for the first few months, I trust them, so I order a lot, and then they disappear.
Oh, damn.
So
Those
this
fuckers.
is but this is okay. That's okay. We learn a lot. The only reason that I stopped Gundam Workshop is in 2005 is that I have to rush back to Hong Kong. My old father is sick, so I have to go back and look after the family. So we sold to two guys. I think it's Stanley and Wilson or something and Wilson. I don't know. I can't remember. So they hold on for another year. I own that place. I own the second Gundam Workshop, the property. So they one night they call me. They can't go on. So I just let them go. And also in 2009, I was working in Hong Kong again. I established a model magazine called the Model Plus because the one that pre-exists in Hong Kong was kind of name. So they do a lot of reprints of Japanese magazine thing. So but I really think that we have the ability and the technology and enough modeler to sustain our own model magazine in Hong Kong. So I started the Model Plus magazine. So with emphasis on, yes, that's the workshop. With emphasis on Gunpla. So, and then the reason that I stopped the magazine is because I was pissed.
What?
I was really pissed because it's kind of like really, there's a like small circle and small. I guess it happens like anywhere in the world. Like
Mhm.
this group of gunpla people is doing battle with another group of gunpla people, and then not just gunpla, but military people. Military are
Right.
the, military people are the worst.
Yeah.
They are,
I share some
Yeah.
sentiments with that, I think.
yeah.
Rivet
So
counters. Yeah.
yeah, and then actually we do it for 14 months, and then we were earning. We have advertised, we have commercial from HLJ.com. Of course, we
Mm.
have Bandai Asia supporting us almost every month, if not sending us a lot of like souvenirs and stuff to give away. And also we
Mhm.
have hot toys from the get-go. So we have very good client, and then it literally paid for all the printing as already, just that free advertising spots.
Right. So it's sustainable, right?
It's
Yeah.
really sustainable. It's just that
Mhm.
I was pissed, so I just stopped it.
Okay. Uh
And then yeah, and then in 2016, I moved back to Vancouver, and ever
yeah.
since we were like contemplating the idea of opening up Gundam Workshop again. But
Right.
Mhm.
we all know the situation now. There's so many shops that are selling those, and then there's a price war going on. Good for the customer, so I would rather be a customer for now.
Mhm.
Mm.
Let's put it
Right.
that way. So
Very
Well,
consumer friendly these days. Sounds like.
yeah, I
it's
mean,
all,
yeah.
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 It's almost like you got it from Tokyo yourself. It's very similar the price. So, but you
Mm.
don't have to carry on those unless it's a rare item or a garage kit or a Vox limited edition kind of thing, or else pretty much Sakura carry everything. So,
That's
and
well,
yeah, UA is a friendly guy. I would support them for sure. Like
Yeah.
shout outs
I'm
to
not saying
you, Wade.
yeah, I'm not saying the other shop is bad. It's just that Sakura is doing a good job, like keeping all the stock for us. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah. Okay, go ahead. Other
Oh,
question.
yeah. Okay. So I mean, I guess to put on to your point about being like more accessible, I think it's also because I think the way the business was done back then was just so different, right? From now. I think there's like distributors here that are set up in place, but I'm pretty sure like back then when you picked the products, right, for your Gundam workshop, did you have to be
Mm.
strategic with it in any sort of way?
Wow, you have to be really smart, and then but we were okay because I was surrounded by really good Gundam builders like from the get go, and they make me better as well. So and then I, I kind of know what they want. I kind of know like what real builders want. So, but at that time, you gotta understand is the year is like 2001 to 2005, right? At that
Yeah.
time,
Mm.
we have only a few series. We only have the HGUC,
Hmm.
the MG and the PG and the BB Sensi,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
SD Gundam. So
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have a lot of we don't have Build Fighter yet. We don't have Double O. And as well starts coming out, and the humongous Dendrobian came out at that time. Yeah, this is a magazine. This is the Model Plus magazine. Thanks for posting.
Yep.
Um,
I will post photos for the video. So yeah,
yeah,
here are the magazines.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
and then
Model Plus
okay,
stuff.
okay. Remember the orange one. The orange one is the one before the last one. The orange
The
one with I think it's E-Day's work.
right.
Okay, I have a reason to ask you to remember that one. Okay, we'll come back to that
Okay.
later.
Okay.
Uh, so
Okay.
at that time, it's not a lot of choice.
Hmm.
So whenever there's a new MG, we will get in like 3 or 4 cartons, that kind of thing. I think one significant there's a couple of significant sales. The first one is the EXS Gundam.
Right.
It was because it was a wow thing for all the Sentinel lovers, because finally
Are
they can,
doing it.
yeah, finally they talk the license, because it's a licensing. It's always
Issue. Yeah.
yeah, the licensing issue
Yeah.
between Model Graphics and original author and Bandai, right? So, but
Yeah.
Kadoki is stuck in the middle, and Bandai
Mhm.
wants Kadoki so badly into their team, so they kind of
Mhm.
like back off a little bit, and then the revenue is shared. So,
Yes.
the MG EXS finally surfaced. So I built one for the second Gundam Workshop. Took me about 60 hours. Um, it's a pain in the
Sorry,
butt of the
60 hours?
60 hours.
Whoa.
Just
Wow.
Okay.
OOB, just
Right,
OOB,
right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with some masking and just a custom color kind of thing with the space camouflage.
Right. Yeah.
60 hours, just OOB, and then
Mhm.
that one sold like crazy. That one sold like crazy.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many I ordered. And then
Oh.
and also because we are a pro hobby shop, and then we actually run workshops and demonstration, and we also run contests. So we
Mhm.
sell a lot of airbrush sets, compressors as well. Like I remember Ken told me that uh and from one of the fellow member, he brought one set
Mhm.
from me, and then the first time that we have the Gundam Workshop meetup in Polycap, he told me that I actually did something really bad to him.
Oh.
He reminded me that I kept a note on my counter saying that I undercharged him. So about
Oh.
like a few weeks later, he came back, and then I told him, hey, actually I charge you less. I should charge you more. So
You fucking let him
but
know.
no, it's a bad thing.
Mhm.
Actually, I shouldn't do that. If he
Mhm.
walks out the door, he walks out the door, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I will apologize to him again officially. So I won't do it again. So
Let's hope Ken can listen to this podcast.
yeah,
Or
Here's your
is he in the
apology.
room? Yeah.
it's a very different strategy, like getting stock. You have to be like way ahead of time. You have
Mhm.
to what the internet information is not that great at that time, so magazine as is not as very accessible. So I have to get the information through my Japanese master modeler friend and some of the
Mm.
supplier from Hong Kong. So we have to get it like from 3 or 4 sources. XLJ is our last resort. You only
Right.
get the really rare item or the MSG from Kotobukiya from HLJ. Otherwise, they are very
Mhm.
expensive. So
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
you guys are lucky now. So you pretty
Yeah,
much
no, no, I do
you
feel like I'm lucky because there's so much like crap out there now. I mean, it's not crap, but there's just we have too much like resources, I think. And you know how they say like in a McDonald's menu, if more than like I don't know, like 5 or 6 choices is presented to you, you don't know
What you want.
what you want, right? So
Yeah.
um I mean, at that
yeah,
time, yeah,
yeah. From
those
time to
limited
time,
resources.
yeah, we'll buy wrong. We'll buy wrong,
Mhm.
and then that's why Vanpla has those resale sessions, like and then
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
resale party or trade party like every year. Except the COVID, for the COVID thing, we don't have it this year. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I really want to have a swap meet again. But I remember like having those kits and I gave it to somebody and then years later I'd get it back. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Like I
Yeah.
remember I didn't want this and then like I checked the crease in the box and it's mine. And I'm like, oh shit. I just rebought the same thing.
wow, it happens. It
It
happens.
happened.
I sold many stuff before, and then I want it back later on,
Hmm.
and then I want to sell it again, like 2 months later.
I think that's the modeler cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
I'm
okay.
I'm really happy that I'm building again. So, and then you guys
Yeah,
have been nice.
you are pumping out content like fucking steroids.
Yep. No
It's
tomorrow.
insane, the amount of content. I mean, like, I don't even use Facebook that much anymore, but every time I like wake up, I'm like, oh shit, Joey's got something to do. And it's very interesting to kind of like revive back that Facebook area because I don't post there a lot anymore because I feel like it's just too much work sometimes. But yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of your like fast builds, I guess I'm gonna jump into a question from the viewers. So First person up is Nate. Nate asks, "How do you build faster?" Uh,
Oh, okay. 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 First of all, I have to go through my process very fast. Um, I snap fit it,
mhm,
and if I'm very serious about that particular kit, I will do all the knobs and sanding at the same time while I was snap fitting it, and
Yep.
then cut all the necessary packs and change all the joints as I go along. And then after the snapping, it is the modification thing.
Mhm,
Mm.
Either is extending the torso and extending the limbs for better proportion, or add-on things, or sometimes it's more subtracting for me now. It's a deduced thing than a addition thing more now. So and then I will prime the whole thing. I'll prime the whole model, and then I will take it apart again. So before the
mhm,
second set, I use 500 grit to prime. I can explain it later on. So and then after the whole thing is primed, take it off again,
mhm.
and then I will do the rescribing first before second sanding.
Right.
Rescribing first because if you go on to second sanding, you may lose some of the panel lines or some of the details.
Oh, that's true.
Uh,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You have
So
to definitely rescribe it. Yeah.
rescribing or adding new panel lines is done by the after the gray primer. It's easier
Mhm.
because you see the line, right? Once you
Yep.
scribe,
Yeah.
you see the line. You don't
Yeah.
have to sand it back and then let the dust fill to see the
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then the process go back in a loop like maybe 2 or 3 times. And then after that, I don't rebuild, I don't reassemble it. I will go to I will give them a ultrasonic bath,
Mhm.
which is a must these days because all those panel lines and details are so much finer and more sophisticated. So the ultrasonic bath is the cleaner is highly recommendable. It's highly recommended.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
the
then
chisel
yeah,
sizes are pretty small nowadays. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then after that is drying, and then when it's dry, and then is alligator clips time, and then airbrush. So when I airbrush, I always no primer at that point. No more primer.
Mhm.
Primer is done.
Mhm.
So my base paint is my last primer.
Base
So
Mm.
paint.
it's
Okay.
yeah underpaint. So my
Mhm.
is I follow it's still the Max Watanabe's philosophy, but actually Max Watanabe borrowed this philosophy, this method from military application. Like if they do tanks, they do the hull
Mhm.
red underneath before they
Yep.
paint the top surface, right?
Yep.
Same
Right.
with navy ship. So you have
Yep.
hull red. So
Yep.
Yeah.
it's called hull red for a reason, right? So
Yep.
it's the same principle. But the reason behind this underpaint is not because of the shadowing effect anymore. Shadowing is kind of outdated, and it looks unnatural as well. So this underpaint is actually serving as the last primer to hide all the hairline fracture and the
Mm.
impurities and everything. So the base paint part will take the longest time to airbrush. So for like typical 1 to 100 scale no, IBO thing, probably the base paint will take me 2 good hours.
Mm.
At my speed. A
Right.
good
Right.
two
Right.
hours, and then followed by the top paint. The top paint is a very diluted one. Or the main armor, the real armor color will follow. So usually a darker underpaint and then the real armor paint on top. So you can go like dark brown underneath and then white on
Mhm.
top, like my
Yep.
barbatos, or you
Yep.
can do a black or jet black underneath and do a gray on top. That's how you do the Sailor Purse or any C3 G3 color. So
Right.
Yeah.
and then after that, if if some of the parts need masking, then probably wait a whole day because even it's dry on the surface, it's not it's called set, it's not dry. So if you press it hard, it's you still leave marks. So I will let it sit for a whole day, and then if masking is needed, then second airbrush session the other day. And then it's final and then it's panel line and then it's deco and then reassemble top coat. It's done. So it's a
Right.
nine-step thing. So answer your question now. The reason I'm fast is I'm very impatient. I'm super impatient. So and also for me, if sending 2 hours is already get the job done, I don't have to send it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That
But
does make sense. Yeah.
yeah, you will oversend it too,
Hmm. Yeah.
and just
I've
like
heard horror
you would.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So also true with modification. You got to know how to stop. You got to know when to stop.
Yeah, it's cutting
So
cutting things out and getting things finished. I think cutting things out is pretty important because then you'll like never finish.
Yep.
once you cut, you commit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's just like once you epoxy putty apart, you commit, right? It's 2 more days.
yeah.
So so you have to. What I do is before I even open up the box or cut anything out from the tree, I already have a general picture in mind what I want to achieve, what style, what proportion. So that's also, of course, there's try and error in between the process, right? So, but for me, enough is enough. So, and also during the past 9 months, it's like crazy. I have like 20 builds. I'm going to like
Yeah.
20 and 21 tomorrow. So
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't think
number
I've
20.
built 20 in my fucking life.
Dude.
I've built 20, but over the span of a very, very long time, not over
But
code.
also, I was giving
Mhm.
myself a test.
Right, just to
I
see
was
if you could
giving
do it or something.
yeah, just to see if I still have the passion to build, and if I could build it better than the old Gundam Workshop days.
Right.
So
Right.
Mm,
Right.
luckily, I think I'm okay. I'm okay.
nice.
I'm still
Wow.
learning every day, and I have new discovery on every single build. So I think I'm okay.
Mhm.
So it's very important that you don't stay on just one path. You keep you keep an open mind. You keep exploring, or else you will just stay in one place, and then
You'll never be able
like
to move on from that.
yeah, you don't want to be
Yeah.
on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to move to some.
Gotta
You have
finish
to
your
explore.
workout sometime. Yeah.
Yeah,
I.
and
Oh.
even though if you make mistake or you make a bad one, it's
Mhm.
okay. If you're doing the building process, if you make mistake, just like this couple of days, Michael post he broke the grunge,
Mhm.
and we always think that okay, broken is broken, it's fine, it's just plastic, right?
Yeah.
Whenever something is open up, it also gives you opportunity to improve that particular part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to screw up. We all screw up. So
Mhm.
you just have to be persistent. So even
Mhm.
if you make a mistake, you don't just throw it at the wall. Well, you can throw it at the wall, but you pick it
Yeah.
up back, and then it becomes like
I mean,
15 more pieces, and then it might have hey, I find a new way to reassemble this guy. So
yeah.
always find, keep open mind. Open
Mhm.
mind is very important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Um, well, thank you for that answer. I hope Nate can shut the fuck up now and get to his build. Finish your
Oh
damn
god.
build, Nate. Um,
Um.
so I guess we'll cycle back to the questions that we have. Let's see. So the next one is I was talking about how like the scene was pretty different back then, but I think especially with Hong Kong and Canada. So if now that you're I guess in Vanpla, right?
Mhm.
What are some things that you kind of notice the difference between like your Gundam Workshop gang and people back in Hong Kong and Vanpla right now? Like what kind of similarities and differences do you experience, I guess?
Okay, I
Yeah.
think I've been away for like a good 15, 16 years, right? So, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
uh, sadly, I see the growth is very little in Vancouver in terms
Mhm.
of like I'm not saying you guys are bad builders, but I expect more. For 15 years, 15 fucking years. Come on, guys. And then, but I also have to be fair with you guys. because
Yeah.
we don't have everything here.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong, you have like unlimited supply of any brand, uh,
Mhm.
price wise and availability, and you have a lot of choices. And even the kit itself is way cheaper. So
Mm.
and then also because it's closer to Tokyo, it's closer to
Yeah.
Japan. Uh, they got things like sooner than us, or
Mhm.
the past 1/4 of a century. So it's not fair to compare the Hong Kong scene and Canada scene or
Mhm.
Vancouver scene. But the main difference is Hong Kong people they build very fast because
Okay.
it's a fast paced city. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Mm.
they have their lunch for like maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they sleep like 5 or 6 hours every night. So it's very healthy,
Yeah.
come to think of it, it's a sick city. So, but everybody is fast, and then they
Mhm.
have unlimited supply of whatever they want to bash. They could just grab it. Uh, except the Bound Dog. The Bound Dogs sold out in one day.
Yeah, I
And
I I saw that in Japan as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Bandai deliberately cut the production again.
What a
Just
dick.
like the no, they have to do that. They have to protect the price, and they don't want to flood the market. They have to test.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
just like what they did with MGEX, they cut 90% of the production.
Mm.
Wow.
But generally, I think the average skills and the information they have, well, they can easily access to the latest issue of Hobby Japan or the
Mhm.
other DHL, the DML magazine from Naoki. So
Yeah.
Naoki
Mm.
found that magazine actually, and so they have a lot of reference. And then the other main difference is there's quite a lot of builders that build professionally and earn money by building Gundams for customer. So it creates a atmosphere for the younger builders to try to achieve.
Kinda like
So
make it as a pro or something, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they can earn money. They can earn
Yeah.
money. So they can bring in cash. So enthusiastic one day they work really hard. So it can also explain why the entry for the GBWC in Hong Kong is so vigorous. It's so
Competitive,
massive.
right?
So
Yeah.
massive. Just the number is just scary. The four
Yeah.
500 piece easily, easily.
Mhm.
So but I also seen some good things in Vancouver community. First of all, we have an official distributor, so it's more easy to get the stock that we want at
Mhm.
Mhm.
a more reasonable price. Everywhere is selling cheaper than Gundam Workshop now. I can
Mm.
be honest with you, because
Mhm.
at that time we have to pay the shipping or the logistic thing. Right now, Sean, our distributor is actually his price is very competitive. So
Mhm.
uh, but I see a big gap in between like the skill of building and the concept of finishing. The concept of finish is quite funny because I
Mhm.
often see those I finally finish a thing and then the picture is a snap fit. So that's why I once posed a question, say, how do you define finish? How finish is finished? One
Mhm.
guy answered like really, really humorously, and then he said, "Oh, I will open up the box and then I look at the manual, I put it back, I put it in a bad lock, finish, right?"
Fun. Um,
So that's a great answer, I think.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, it happens to every one of us, I'm sure. But we have to ask ourselves, like, we cannot force people into like airbrushing and the whole nine yard things. Uh,
Mhm.
they have to have they have to crave it, they have to have a need, they have to have this desire to have a finish like or at least like color OOB or custom color OOB thing, good panel lines, water decals,
Mhm.
and then sitting into the DTOF, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Everybody is using that showcase, right? So
IKEA's printing money, man. Yeah.
yeah, $70. It's
Yeah, it's
it needs two
yeah.
people to build. Anyway, so I
Yeah.
I was hoping that we will, you know, the Vanpla, the more seasoned builder can influence snappers or the I finally finished bunch of you know, fellow builders. So I hope you guys are
Yeah.
listening. So I'm not off. I try not to offend anybody. It's just that it's not finished. Come on, guys, it's not finished. It's called snap fit. Okay.
I mean I do agree with you. I just think that here there's like I talked to some people about this, but they were saying like, oh, you know, we just have a lot of hobbies here. I mean like um I guess when you say like somebody who is in Hong Kong, right? When they spend like 6 to 7 hours maybe like per day on a kit and they build quickly, do you think it's because they spend more time, or do you think genuinely they just like see it as kind of like a mass produced thing, right? um and also like in Canada, um I guess general attitude is kind of like we're more laid back like compared to the rest of the world, right?
To
um
be fair, there's a lot of snapper in Hong Kong as well. So,
mhm, mhm,
but the general population of gunpla builder is more. So it's not really fair to compare. It's like orange and apple. But
mhm,
what I really wish is that of course, like some people will still treat the kid as a toy. So,
mhm,
but you can go way beyond that. You know, treat it as a campus. It's a canvas. It's a canvas for you to paint. It's open up opportunity for you to create.
mhm.
It's plastic. You can change things. You can move things around. You can bash. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's your Gundam. You know,
Yeah.
it's your kid. So I mean, don't just snap fit it and then move on. Is not done yet. So uh for me it's like a drawing paper. It's like a canvas. You know, you can put whatever you want onto it. So
Yeah, that's true.
Bandai
um
just giving us the, you know, sort of like a guideline. So you I don't really look at the manual anymore. So
mhm. Yeah.
that
I
is
get that.
algae, and that is an algae. So it's really difficult.
Yeah, RG is just too defined, I think.
And then also the other thing is if you are a beginner
Yeah.
or so-called novice builder,
Mhm.
don't try to build a PG for your first build.
No.
No,
That's not gonna stop some
Yeah.
people.
and definitely stay away from algae.
Yeah. Yeah.
So algae is actually for like really more experienced builder. Any HG will do. All IBO kits are great kits. Most of them, like maybe
Mhm.
90% of IBO kits are good kits. So start with
They're
those.
they're
Some
pretty
build
cheap and
fighter kits,
affordable. Yeah.
yep, yep. And but try to paint it, even with spray paint, or try Gundam marker. At least do a simple coloring thing, like weather it and then wash it and then panel line it and then top coat it. At least do that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. I remember people who usually snap fit. I personally kind of see it as like they've only scratched the very surface. You know, it's kind of like reading a table of contents or something before they even begin their first chapter.
yeah, I can quote you a real life example, Dan and half. This
Yeah.
couple of days, I saw a post.
Mhm,
Luckily, in Vanpla,
mhm,
um, that guy said, "Okay, I have oh no, not from Vanpla. It's from Gundam USA. It's a video." That guy said,
mhm,
I upgrade this guy. This
mhm.
time, I'm not only panel lining the front, I also panel line the back." Wow, think about that. He
Oh
think it's
my
a
god.
he think it's an achieve.
Jesus.
Come on, think about that.
Yeah.
So I think I make myself clear enough.
Oh
I,
my
I think
god.
there's just like no frame of reference, right? To be fair for them, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, their coolest build that they've probably ever seen is probably like some generic metallic color build that's very shiny. They see it like as a hot rod or something. They're like, oh, that's so cool, you know.
Oh,
But
but we cannot. This is not an alibi. This is not an excuse because every,
I guess,
everything
yeah,
is on Pinterest. Everything is on Pinterest.
yeah.
So if you go Pinterest, okay, first you have to know how to read, right?
Mhm.
I don't mean like literally like literature. I mean you have to know how to read a Gundam has been modified. You have to tell the difference between a modified
Mhm.
one and a non-modified or OOB one, or just keep bashing without changing anything, just a surface finish different. You have to tell the
Right.
difference first. So you have to
Yep.
learn how to look at Gundam first.
Mhm. That's
And
true.
then but the learning process is if you don't build like seriously, you can never learn.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's true.
We learn from mistakes, and from spilling the whole bottle of thinner. We
Yeah.
That has happened way too often. I don't want to talk about it. It's
Yeah,
money I fucking
how many
wasted.
cuts we have on our fingers, like by the
Yep.
exacto cutters.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
feel that.
then yeah, and how many cutters we broken in the past, like cutting the wrong material with the wrong
It feels like
cutters.
I've been wasting money for the past like almost a decade when I'm building.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
lost
Yeah,
material. But it's
yeah,
part of the process, I think. Um,
yeah. Don't be scared. We all screw up.
mhm.
The whenever I'm getting stalled on a build because I've like messed up by dropping a piece and losing it to the void of my bedroom floor forever, is this like or like some kind of like just recently pardon me, messing up my primer on a kit that I'm doing. I just remember that like the master has failed more times than the beginner has even attempted, right? Like I'm to get where I want to be, to get where my idols are, I have to make these mistakes, right? So I know how not to make them. And it's just some people don't have to make mistakes. They just see what other people have done and just go, "Oh yeah, I can do that." But like me, I'm like,
But
"No."
yeah, try,
Yeah,
try.
exactly.
Do something.
Welcome to the game. Try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that easy as it seems, but also it's a personality thing as well. Uh,
Mm.
I think the persistency and how we want to push ourselves or paddle ourselves forward is a self motivated thing. So if you are craving for some finishing that you really want to achieve, you'll get there someday. You will find a way. You will find a tool. So people will say, "Oh, I don't have that tools. I don't have that gear, so I cannot do that. I gotta have that infinity airbrush in order to." It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Best tool is the tools on your table.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like when we talk about photography, like the best camera is the camera that you have on hand, right?
Yeah.
So so do whatever you can work with and then make something out of it. It's called creativity. But the persistency is definitely a key thing because sanding is not a present thing going through. Like if we check our thumb, we have something called the thumb check. Check the thumb fingernail and the skin. The tip of the thumb.
Hmm.
Scratch
Yeah,
it
yeah.
now. Come on, guys, scratch it now. Okay, if it's rough, that means you're a real builder. If it's
Yeah.
soft, if
I
you're
fucking
soft,
moisturize. I'm sorry if it's smooth. Fuck y'all.
wow.
I've got a on
I
that note, I've got a scar on the side of my thumb when okay, when I was a teenager, I used to build a lot of Warhammer and I had this really like shitty dull exacto knife and I was trying to trim a nub and I slipped and I've got like this like it looks like a little triangle on the side of my
Wow,
thumb from where I cut it. So it's like,
wow,
yeah, real builder,
wow.
here I am.
Oh, it's also called careless too. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys have to be really careful. Some of the tools is very dangerous. Some of the tools, and also not just the tool, the material. we can't stress enough. Primer and thinner is a two poisonous thing, most poisonous thing in the world. Primer and thinner. So think about that. So when you prime, wear a mask, at least a dust mask.
Yeah.
Either a respirator.
Should have told me that.
Same thing apply when you sand down the primer. Wear a mask. If you can smell the thinner, that means it's already going to your lungs. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing, and it accumulates. It will never go away.
Mm-hmm.
So thinner is different. Thinner will attack your nerve system. So if you want to get high, congratulations. So
sometimes you have to smoke a little bit before you start, you know.
Well, when brain cells die, it dies permanently. You won't grow back brain cell. It kills brain cell.
Yeah.
So airbrushing, respirator is a must.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be lazy. if you want to live longer. If you're a smoker, then it doesn't make any difference.
Like, you hear that? I'm not gonna name names, but do you hear that? I know you're in the chat.
Yeah, the Marlboro guys. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to go back to a question from the chat. Daniel asked, "Are there limitations on how you build a GBWC entry? For example, can you CNC engrave a design on a clear plastic sheet for effect parts?" Daniel, I don't think Joey works for Bandai. You should probably talk to Young about that, but maybe you could rephrase the question to, I guess, like what kind of things that can you get away with, or have you seen people get away with in their GBW?
Oh well, I can share my experience that what we disqualify in the past.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, okay. If you mingle with a part from a toy, it's a no.
Mm-hmm.
It's game over from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you use garage kit parts, it's a no is disqualified for sure. It doesn't necessarily have to be a non-licensed one. Any resin part is disqualified. So the question remains is, okay, can the judge really tell that one is a 3D printing piece or a garage kit or a resin kit? That's right. The answer is you will have like whistleblower all around you. The judge don't have to notice it. The judge will know because somebody will report it. Trust me.
Right.
Fellow contestant they will report it.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember like we go in the night before Yamaguchi-san come to nail down the final 40 or final 30 for him for easier to judge. So immediately we will have like people coming around and say, hey Joey, that piece is from China, is a knockoff version. That piece is not Gunpla. So all sorts of this whispering happening, when you do the preliminary. So you don't have. So garage kit is a no. Toys conversion is a no. But it will become like more tricky and trickier than before because of the 3D printing thing.
Yeah.
So once you full color everything, it's really difficult to tell that particular part is 3D printing.
Right.
So that goes your gray area.
Yeah, I know that there are some entries in the past for sure that definitely use custom metal pieces that are definitely from like a third party kit, right? And I've seen like someone straight up just use like a bunch of pieces in the regional area, right? Not in the international area, but they still like, I know, get placements.
Yeah, but it won't get you very far. You get onto the world stage, and then
no more then.
They use microscope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Microscope.
and then also well, a tiny bit of accessory is fine. But if
Mhm.
your whole feature is leaning on because of even gun primer these days they have those replacement parts or some uh engines or a they have these things for you to modify from gun primer is I saw one like a Vance thing uh
Mhm.
because those are like really difficult to cut. Like if you have to cut like 10 of those plastic sheets in the exactly the same size and the same shape is difficult. But we have to do that to line up a vent, right? Or a
Right.
or part of a machine. But primer have those now. You can just put the whole slot into cut off the shoulder and put the whole slot onto that part. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think don't take the easy way out. I mean, it's a learning process also. Um, so by means of entering GBWC, it will make you better. You force yourself into some uncharted territories and
Yeah.
explore more. So of course you enter to win also. Uh, so don't cut corners. Don't cut
Mhm.
corners. So if you have this full scratch that part, scratch build that part. If not, then you find the right parts from another
And
kit, and then and then you
Yeah.
bash it and you modify it. So
Mhm.
Very nice.
yeah,
I hope that
so
answers Daniel's build question.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
um, yeah. So I'll go back to ours again.
Yeah, like, there are countless
Mhm.
Dragon Momoko kits parts that got disqualified. Yes,
Yeah, that's true.
and also if you use Sakura War, they'll disqualify you as well, even though it's a Bandai production
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
or parts from part labor. Gunpla is Gunpla.
Oh, that's. Can you use Bandai kits for that? Oh, I didn't realize that you could. Oh, wait, no, right. Some guy used Star Wars kits parts as a thing for their entry, anyways. Okay. Okay.
It really depends on how you use it. If you use it as the prominent features, then of course they disqualify you. But
Yeah.
if
No,
you
if you throw an
if
X
you
wing in there, you're not gonna win.
I don't think Bandai will mind if you buy a PG Millennium and then cut it off and do it as just the underneath engine part for a PG. I think they were very happy.
Oh yeah, they'll be like, yes, this is
Yeah.
how you did it.
They
They'll be
want
like,
you
we
to
got this
consume,
suck.
right?
Yeah, we got this sucker to buy like a $300 kit just for like 5 Greeblies. Hell yeah, boys, you know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is that not a lot of people might know this, but I know that Joey, you're a singer, right, in Hong Kong. You've done some album work and stuff like that. I was wondering, like, you also do, photography. You do all these other types of kind of like artistic endeavors. I was just wondering, are there any similarities in those different practices that are similar to you building model kits?
uh, well, I was in bands. It's in my post college day.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh, I was a rock star. Uh,
Rockstar Joey.
I have about 10 albums put
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
Some becomes gold, some platinum. But
Hmm.
Wow.
those were like in the you guys were not even born, so it was like uh mid to late 80s kind of thing. So
Oh wow,
it
yeah,
was
that
yeah. I kind of created a band boom back in those days in Hong Kong, and then I also worked for the radio station. I guess to answer your question, creativity is a thing that uh, it doesn't matter if I'm composing a song or writing lyrics or arranging a song for a soundtrack or taking a photographs like in the mountain or in the subway in Manhattan. It's it's all about perception and how you see things.
Hmm.
So that's a good book that I highly recommend you guys. It's called The Way of Seeing Things.
I think
Way
I
of
Who
Seeing
did
actually
Things.
what?
have that book. Maybe
I
just
think
phrase in a different way.
yeah, I think some courses in the college is a mandatory read for some maybe sociology
Like
or
learning how to see creatively, right? Um,
yep,
something
yep,
like that.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that books opened me up. Like we have this creative class. I studied design in my college year. So
Mm-hmm.
so it helps a lot when I build Gundam because
Mm-hmm.
all the art elements apply to Gundam finishing. Uh,
Yeah.
the form, the proportion, and everything. But the similarity in between like songwriting or doing a radio show and Gundam building is that you can't help but to think about the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't help it. It's not a good thing. It's not necessarily a good thing. But for so many years, I've been accustomed to you go, okay, if I write that song, will it be aptly? Do people understand the lyrics, or shall I make it
Mm-hmm.
more simple, or shall I make the hook line like more jump out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I make a Billie Eilish song, or do I make a BTS song? You know,
Yeah.
you have to think about in terms of audience. So it's not necessarily a good thing. The reason behind is if you create like freely,
Mm-hmm.
it should be more in an art sense. If we look at like real artists, they paint or they scout for
Mm-hmm.
no reason at all. It's just they want to express something, right? They're
Yeah.
Yeah.
not because they want to sell the painting they paint. Of course, they want to sell a painting is how they earn a living. But
Yeah.
when they start a fresh painting, the first brush on the canvas, you don't know what they're painting. So throughout the years of creativity, I come to gather a kind of like a model um, to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you create, don't worry about the end. Don't worry about the result.
Mm.
Keep creating.
It,
But if we apply this to Gundam, it's a different story. It will becomes like dance, that humongous monster thing. Like it's a
Oh
never
yeah.
end. It will be a never ending project, right? So
mm-hmm.
at some point you have to stop. But you need to keep an open mind. Like okay, can I apply the Gundam Mark III, the RE 100 with a Barbados frame?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I use an entry grade Gundam and turn it into a ivory sculpture?
Mm.
Can I mingle the Turn A Gundam with a part labor Ingram? So there's a lot of possibility like going on if you think in that kind of uh, creative thinking, so called.
Yeah.
So for artists, the only thing that worries them, actually two things. First thing is they have to tackle their egos. And the second thing is they want to be different.
Yeah.
So this also answer to the GBWC $1 million question. How do you win? You have to surprise the judge. You have to think of something that they never think of before. So it only gets like more difficult like every day, right? Because
Yeah, that's true.
everybody does everything these days. Like it's all on Pinterest, right? So
Mm-hmm.
every
Yeah.
night I go on Pinterest like for 45 minutes before I go to bed. It's just
Just a
sometimes it's
look.
encourage. Yeah, just flip through the Pinterest thing, and then uh, there's a lot of good builders out there, and Koreans are crazy. Uh, Especially technically, they are crazy. They
Yeah.
they are they they are like 100 Ryan Laughs add together, right? So
Ryan
well,
Lau's gonna fucking start crying, bawling
no,
after this.
no, trust me, Ryan is up there. Ryan is getting there. So you guys have to be good. You know,
I'll
he's
kick
really
his fucking ass. Give me
Oh
5 years.
god. Oh god.
I'm kidding.
no 5 years is too
So
long. Half you can only have two.
I'm already I've hit my prime.
Oh
Nah.
my
No,
god,
no,
don't
no, half
say
you.
that, Half.
Oh, half you. Not
All right,
even
this
born.
isn't about me. All right, we're gonna move
Not even
on.
born.
Fuck this.
How? Let me put it in one
Shit.
phrase. To me, you're just like a sperm.
All right, that's
Oh man.
If
I've
not a
heard that
DNA,
before.
if not a DNA strand.
Yeah.
Better
Wow.
than a DNA strand, you are sperm already. But long way to go. Half. Don't limit yourself to something that you can already achieve. That stay there. Move on, man.
I think so.
Yeah, move on.
I don't really have hangouts when it comes to the hobby. I guess I just build, and
Yeah.
I don't think I process like too much. I mean, if it's a contest, I I don't think about really like too much about winning. I think I just build whatever I really like. And
Yeah,
I know GBWC has like their qualifications or whatever, but I don't give a fuck what that fat fuck in Japan thinks. Okay.
well,
I don't give a fuck.
I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. Like
Oh my God.
like a real artist shouldn't be thinking about the audience at all. Like
Yeah.
unless you are commissioned or you have an assignment, that's
That's
different, right?
different, right? Because there's some expectation of it's your client, right? It's your clientele, it's a business. Then
So
that becomes different.
GBWC is more like working with a brief,
Mm-hmm.
with assignment. So it's different. But if you build like freely, so you
Mm-hmm.
should go crazy. You should really go crazy. You should, but every time you want to go beyond the last build, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be
Yeah.
better. You want to move on. And
Yeah.
also, we made mistake, but we don't take it for granted that okay, everybody made mistakes, so I'm cool. No, you're not cool. So we don't make the same mistake twice.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
You make the same, you make the mistake. That's fine. If you make the same mistake twice, you sucks.
Mm-hmm.
As simple as that. So
No, I totally get it.
that's
Yeah.
how we progress, right?
That's true. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
And then also, for our old father, we have to listen to the young guy. We have to look at how they create and how they perceive on something. The way that
Mhm.
the younger generation is thinking is very important to us to move on as well, because we progress with you guys, and then
Mm.
we cannot just stop at Gundam Workshop stage. I have to move on.
Mhm.
Because so many new techniques have came on for the past 10 years, so many new tools. There's no panel line enhancing before. Come on, let alone like creating new panel lines.
Mhm.
Those were all new techniques coming out for the past 5 years, and the materials
Mhm.
are so much better. You have so much better paint, metallic paints, different surface. The kits were like so much better. The proportion is so much better. Just look at the Build Fighter Jim.
Yeah.
It's a great kit. You just snap it and then just prime it, and then it's a garage kit already. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks pretty like distinguished.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of the kits out there are pretty good. IBO frame is very usable, and then you can turn it into anything if
Yep.
you
Yeah.
are bold enough to cut
Mhm.
something. Try.
Yeah.
Very.
Thank you.
That's a very like
Uh,
impassioned speech, and I think
yeah.
we're at about 9 o'clock now, our time. So
I
Mhm.
can have another 5 minutes.
another 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
All
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
Cool. We
Let's
want to
go.
do a lightning round.
Lightning round.
Okay, we'll do lightning rounds for the thing. Okay, so Matt says, what is your favorite Gundam series? And you could just say something and just say like one or two sentences.
0083.
0083. Okay.
Nice.
And then I love IBO, and
Okay.
but it's kind of sad for season 2, and then the ticket
Uh-huh.
then turn into a villain gangster group. So, but still,
Yeah.
it's awesome. And then I salute Bandai. They finally listen, and they finally think out of the box. So so Stardust Memory and IBO.
Okay, cool.
Very good choices.
All right, next, Jeremy says, how can builders advance through Canadian sensibilities for model building while also satisfying Japan/Bandai's needs? This is a pretty hefty one, but if you can summarize, I guess you can summarize.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, how can
Judge?
builders advance through Canadian sensibilities for model building while also satisfying Japan/Bandai's needs. I think he's talking about in the context of competition.
Okay, so to simplify in layman's term, I think he means how to get out of Canada and win Japan, right?
Yep.
First you have to get out of Canada. So
yeah, there you go. That's the answer.
no. Original. Wow, that's crazy shit.
Travis,
Okay.
stop posting your garbage. Joey's
Oh
gonna answer
my
questions. We got a
No.
limited time here.
It's a threesome, right?
I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. You could just
Or foursome, maybe.
it's a five-some, right?
It's a
I
Gatai
don't know.
combiner.
Put this.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay, we have this short discussion, very quick. Canadian judge, if the grand finale is in the East Coast again, the judges are quite military based. So at some point you might hold on a second. I have to answer this. I'll come back in 2 minutes.
okay.
I'm gonna cut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut
Dun,
this.
dun, 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 boop,
I'll
boop.
put him some. You know what? I'm gonna actually finally start cracking on these pineapples that I've been meaning to eat this whole fucking time.
Nice. I wish I was smart enough
Okay.
to. Oh,
I'm back. So to
Fuck.
answer that question, first you have to get out of Canada. So if the grand finale, Canadian finale, oh, that's nice. If the grand finale is done in Montreal again, so the judging panel is quite old school, I must say. So I'm not saying that they're not Gundam builders, but they probably stuck in some kind of a box or some kind of
I
error.
don't know.
I
I guess
don't
they're
know.
PMSing.
I
oh
really
my
don't know.
god.
I
PM. Okay, all right.
I got you.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I have two more questions, Joey.
Okay.
So Derek asks, do you think 3D printed parts or even mods will be allowed in the future? The reason why I asked is, for example, this image, and then he posted the image, is a modeler from Toronto, and she designed everything herself based on the Hygog. Would this be valid to be able to enter into modeling contest, in your opinion? And it's the Hygog looking thing. I've seen this before.
I have not.
but-
It's very interesting.
But it's not a build. I feel like it's just like 3D printed, and she did a lot of sanding and patchwork. But I
Well,
guess
I think she like sculpted it.
First thing I like to meet her in person. This is really amazing. This is a great build. This is a great sculpture. But to answer the basic thing for now, Bandai, I think they still want to rely on Gunpla. They want you to use Gunpla. So I think 3D printing is still not a taboo, but I think you will lose some score if being spotted using like 3D printing.
I guess he's trying to say, like, do you think 3D printing will eventually integrate into GBWC's arena? I guess that's what he's trying to say.
Until Bandai releasing software for you to 3D print. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Unless it becomes a product.
Can
sell the software to you. They can sell the program to you that you can print yourself, right?
Or sell you the files for the components you'd like to
you
use.
just download the file. You just pay online, download the files, print. Oh, it's something that Bandai is very worried about. Actually, just invest in a new set of machine.
Yeah.
They have the fourth machine now. The modern one, not the old one. The one that can produce the Star Wars kind of details one.
Yeah, crazy moldings.
Yeah, but they have the COVID impact, and also they lose the Olympics. So I really felt sorry for them. Like I hope they
slow down.
I hope they're getting better next year. Okay, last question.
Okay, last stupid question. Do you know the game Marry Fuck Kill? Do you know what that is?
We're going with this one.
No.
Okay, so
to be honest,
I will pick 3 people, and you either choose to marry them, you want to kill one of them, and you want to fuck one of them. Okay. All right. So we have Katoki, Nagano, and Okawara. This is the last question of the
I will
night.
kill the old guy for sure.
Okay, all right. So Okawara is
Because
dead.
he's kind of like blocking everybody's thoughts. He should move on and do something else, and then
Okay.
game over for him.
Okay.
So fuck and marry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely not fuck Nagano
Okay, so you'll marry Nagano?
because he will fuck me.
Okay. All right, perfect.
But I always love Kadoki, but he's into guy too. So
Mm.
so it's a really difficult question. How can I recommend they fuck each other?
I mean, they kind of already do in their Gunpla designs. So
No, actually, Kadoki is probably partnership with Mika.
Mika?
The guy who designed AGX04.
Oh,
Oops.
The second designer from Double 83. That's why they team up.
oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Oh
Jeez.
my.
Kadoki is a condition that Kadoki worked for Bandai, so he has to bring Mika into the team. So they go way back. So
right.
the GPO4 is designed by Mika.
Oh, just him, right?
Okay. Yeah, and the Noizil, the green one.
Oh, so he did the cool stuff in '83.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
He do the size stuff. He do the size stuff.
Yeah, which is great.
Very good.
Okay.
One last question. I can answer one last question.
One last question. I think we I guess where can we find your builds? I think a lot of people in Vanpla haven't seen like your old builds and stuff like that. Where can we find them? Is it like in any Hong Kong websites or anywhere else? Do you have anything to
Instagrams or
plug?
anything?
Yeah, do you have like
I haven't really have time to do a fan page yet, and I don't think I need to because I only take records. You know, the way I shoot the photograph is just I want to take record before they got dust up, right? So
yeah.
and then might as well share it on Vanpla so people who are interested
Yeah.
can look at the procedure and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's the only way that that's the only reason that I'm taking the photograph is just for record and keeping track of the continuation of the progress. But I'm trying something new now. You know, after 20 build, so hopefully I can open up something maybe never done before or. Oh, no, everything has been done before. Come on.
Well, okay. I mean that wraps up everything. I mean, everyone's got their questions, and thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. So thank you, Joey.
I have a family thing to look after, so that's the reason that I have to go. But next week, probably the same time, I'll come back with a guy that you know or should heard of him.
Yeah.
I will bring Yi.
What the fuck?
I'll bring Yi.
What the fuck? You know Ide?
Oh, we are friends like for 20 years. So
what the fuck?
Jesus.
Last couple of years of Gundam Workshop, we connected. So
okay.
So it's just
So, interesting.
I have to check his time because we fall back 1 hour on Sunday, right? So 8 o'clock to us is 12 in the afternoon for him. So it might crash with his lunchtime or something. So I have to double check the time with him. So,
that's crazy. Wow.
Oh, but he already said yes. He already said yes. So,
Yes. Thank you.
That's why I'm here to pilot the whole thing and see if like any hostile territory kind of thing. So
yeah. Of course.
Kind of like trailblazing for him. So so I'll let Derek know. Okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Joey. Thank you for joining us today.
To build a combiner. What is a combiner?
Oh, like a from like Transformers, like Devastator or someone where like you have like the 5 mini robots and then they all combine into the one big robot.
Oh, okay.
So if you could like somehow engineer like a
It's
Gunpla
super
fly.
robot. It's super robot stuff.
Yeah.
The five sum, right?
Yeah.
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 Disgusting.
This. Oh
But
my
can I
Fucking
just send you
disgusting.
Pornhub link instead?
Yeah. You seen that 5 black? Okay, all right. I think we're good for the day.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. So
Thank you, Joey. Thank you for
So
joining us.
I'll confirm E-Days with Derek. So you guys, meanwhile, happy building.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey. Thank you. Thank
Bye, guys.
you. Yes. Take care.
Bye bye, Joey.
Thank you.